All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads for the GeoFarm Circle Prospecting Mastery. But I am going to be pulling an audible, and I'm going to cover just a few things that have launched and dropped into your Listings to Leads account in the last few days. Just want to make sure you're taking advantage of them now, because some of them are a little bit time sensitive and some are just going to be things that you really want to get your hands on. First thing is this video here that's going to restart right now. Check this out. Spring, summer 2025. The complete marketing plan to get your home sold. I think this would be awesome on your socials. Maybe pin it to your reels, pin it to your Instagram profile, put this on YouTube shorts. You can put it up on your Facebook shorts as well. We're going to be doing a version of this every 3 months, every quarter. So there'll be like a spring, summer, fall, winter, that kind of a thing. And that way, every quarter, every couple of months, you're going to have something like this to promote into your audiences. And let me show you here. And I got that on TikTok. I've got it up on Facebook. So when you log into your Listings to Leads account, click on the media library. It's going to drop you right into the videos. So if you were using this in the past, it dropped you on images, but now it's going to drop you on videos. And that video is the top left. If you're watching this in the future, and if there are other videos, type in marketing your home into the search bar. And I'll point that out here in a second, but there's the video. And so you can download it, click the download button. And if you're on your phone, just upload it. And if you are on your laptop and you download it, just share it, so airdrop it, send it, however you're going to get it to your phone. So either way, either log in on your phone and download it, or if you're on your laptop already, you can just download it and airdrop it or share it to yourself on your phone. All right. So there's the video file. And if I'm on a Mac, I can hit, I think it's file, share, and you can say I can airdrop it. All right. I can even upload it to YouTube right from here. However you want to get that. Now, there are a couple of other versions. There is a 5-minute long version and a 1.5 minute short version. If I click it, again, you'll see the download option, the save option. You can go full screen, watch the whole video. Again, this one's 5 minutes long. I love it. So again, I click download. And so one of the ways you can use that would be like on your website. All right, put it on your website. You see here, I did a blog about a listing that got sold. Right, so I did a nice blog post, great for SEO. I could share this via social media. This could be something I share via email. And you're going to see there's that same video. So I just put it at the bottom of my blog post with the call to action right after reading this great blog post. Or this could be a video on your website. You could create a tab called Our Marketing Plan. And if you got your home value, right, they got the home value embed that you can use from Listings to Leads or your website. But this video also could be a phenomenal piece of marketing to put on your website. And so again, there's a 5-minute version, which is this one, 5 minutes and 13 seconds long. And then there's also the 1.5-minute version. Right. So back in the media library here, you'll see this one. And hey, if you haven't seen this one yet, all right, there's the video that we dropped like last week or the week before. And I've actually got this on Instagram. And what I recommend is if any of the videos that you're using have music with them, you can use the music if you like, or I like to use more trending songs on the platform. So I always mute the music, or you'll see that we don't even have music. So again, if you're logging into your website and you want to use the music, great. Otherwise, you can usually share a music file with no audio. So, however you want to do it, it's up to you. And then again here, in fact, I did a social media post. So I downloaded it. And then this is a great Facebook post version, right? 23 seconds long. Great as a Facebook post. So yeah, make sure to check out your media library, you're going to see also we got images for all of these things. So if you wanted to create a custom email, you can download the images. And most of these videos for things like this will have, and the next thing I'm going to show you, just because yesterday we got cut off, man, our power went out yesterday multiple times during the day. And yeah, so on the dashboard, if you scroll down, we've got the database email blast on the dashboard here, like you see here. And so here was the breaking news: you're paying a mortgage, just not yours. So that was one about talking about the rent, the last video that we looked at. This right here, Case-Shiller indexes out. So this email is in your account right now. And I want you to get this out to your database. Now, again, I would have covered this yesterday, but we got cut off. So we didn't have a chance. So this right here, when you click on the subject line, you'll land in the editor. I click preview, and then I can see what it's going to look like. And this is completely editable. So I can send this through Listings to Leads, or I can send it from my own CRM. And it's just giving me a little summary of the Case-Shiller. We are putting it in context for both sellers and buyers and homeowners. And so you see I got the Listings to Leads signature at the bottom here. And that one's going to my client review website. So this email is ready to go. There's nothing you need to do except get it out. And so again, you can click either send or schedule to send it through Listings to Leads. So if I click send, if I go back to edit email, select the list. And again, this is appropriate for your entire database. So through Listings to Leads, I'll click select all. So all selected, then either click send or schedule. And then I can also click copy code and go to wherever you want to send an email: Bomb, Follow Up Boss, Lofty, Constant Contact, and just navigate where you're going to send your email, right where you type up the email. And there'll be a button called source, or it'll look like two sideways V's facing each other. And you can just drop it in just like that. It's really easy. Everything's going to look beautiful. And then I'll come back and I'll just copy and paste the subject line. And I'll just paste that and send it out. Like in literally about 30 seconds, I can get that out through my own CRM, or I can send it through Listings to Leads. And again, everything in here is editable. So take a look at that. Give us your feedback. Would love to hear what your feedback is after you send it out. I think this will get a lot of good engagement. And again, you're going to see here, what does this mean for you? So we give a little bit of heads up for the buyers, and we give a little heads up for the sellers. And again, in all of our emails, all the things that we're doing, we are not rah-rahing the market. Okay. We're not here to make you, here, one second. Love you, buddy. Sorry, my son just came in to go to school. So that was nice. So again, we're not going to rob the market. We're not sitting here trying to blow smoke up people's butt about how it's always the right time to buy, it's always the right time to sell. But you know what? People are always going to buy and they're always going to sell. And so we're just trying to give them a heads up of what's the market like right now. So again, you can take this, do whatever you want with it, but I highly recommend get it out to your database. And then what do I always recommend? If you follow any of my calls, you know what I'm going to recommend next. And that is going to be call through some of your people in your database. I would call through 5 or 10 of my leads, or just 5, 10 people on my database. Hey, this is Scott. Just want to let you know, I sent out an email on the new Case-Shiller update regarding home sales and home prices. And just want to make sure you got that. If you have any questions, let me know. We'd love to answer them. Have a great day. Right? You're probably going to get their voicemail 8 out of 10 times. And if not, hey, you might be having a great conversation with somebody. But the cool thing is, you're not calling them with an ask all the time, right? You don't want to have to be calling your database when you're completely scrounging for business and you're on your last dime. You want to be calling through your database on a regular basis with value. And again, if you can send an email first, then the phone call becomes just a nice did you get phone call. I can't get the microphone to work. Only, yeah, yep, that's fine. Are the videos editable? No, they are not editable. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can take them into some sort of editing program and mess with them a little bit. I'm not sure. We might be offering a few branding templates. Like we might do 3 or 4 of the common brands. And then if anybody wants to get a custom brand or something like that, we might be offering that as a custom deal. But yeah, so hopefully that answered your question. So we've gone through the media library. Let me show you one more thing there, just in case you haven't seen it. We do have a lot of other videos. And these videos down here are just meant for you to be able to take 1 or 2 a week and post to your socials, because you're going to see, if I just click on one, they'll touch on different topics. And so, for example, this is a buyer profile video. And the idea is as they're scrolling down their Instagram, and they see something that catches their eye. Yeah, I would love to live in a high rise, or I'd love to live in the suburbs, or I would love to live in a home with a beautiful pool, right? Or I'd love to live in a home with a great kitchen or a great garden, right? You're going to see here's one talking about pool homes. And these aren't meant to be your end all be all on your social media. You still have to do your social media. You still have to be in the videos. You still have to do the talking and get your energy, get your vibe out there. But these can be great supplementals and help really attract more people. And if you're doing 5 to 10 videos a week and you're killing it and you don't need these videos, that's awesome. But I think for a lot of you, and in fact, some of these are fun. So we've got like pop culture type videos. So this is a top 10 iconic homes. And so we're going to have maybe one or two videos like this a week, where it's more like a topical thing. It might be the top 10 oddest homes in the world, or the top 10 modern, top 10 most expensive. You get the idea. So it's just those top 10 lists that people enjoy looking at, that we're going to be creating as well. What steps do you take to post a vid for a Facebook ad? I'm not big. Oh my gosh. I keep getting this pop up in my GoToWebinar to switch microphones like every 30 seconds. I got to check that setting later. So if you want to do a Facebook ad, I'll just show you here. When you're doing a Facebook ad, now I don't recommend doing video 9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10, I say this all the time, a single image ad with our basic default template works best. But video can be a great part of a strategy if you know how to use it, because a lot of people, they think, oh, I heard video generates a lot of leads. They go do a video, they do an ad with it, and they wonder why they're getting no leads. It's because your video answered the question, right? When you put a property video up, I see the whole video and there's really nothing for me to have to do unless I actually wanted to see that home. But 9 times out of 10, people don't want to go see the home that they're looking at. And so you fail to generate them as a lead because they watch your whole video. Does that make sense? But let me show you. Because some people just go, I don't care. I just want to use video. And it's so easy. Facebook and Instagram ads. So any ad that you're doing, right? So when I'm in the Facebook and Instagram ad work area, like this right here. And obviously a lot of those videos would be more appropriate maybe with a landing page or a custom. You can do custom ads. I'll show you that next actually. But let's say here I got a listing, chained image and video. Now, obviously you're going to want to use a property video, but I'm going to show you that if I went to media from L to L, video, all of those videos are right here. So, I could write any video here in any Facebook, Instagram ad work area, landing page, PDF guide, whatever. And so Neil, you could also upload your own video, and you'll see that video will then replace the image. So Neil, does that answer your question? So what do I recommend? What I recommend is following the marketing calendar, right? So if I go to the marketing calendar, so someone asks about ads, right? Every week when we do the social media mastery, I always recommend doing the ad for a listing, yours, borrowed, or new construction, doing an ad for a listing that's sold or pending. And I don't recommend doing ads for the guides because they can be pretty expensive, but you can do a home value. You can do a cash offer. You can do the 100-point home marketing plan, right? I always recommend doing try to do 2 ads a week. And again, the best 2 are usually going to be either listing or sold pending. Down payment assistance is great for buyer leads. New construction, that's a great one. Really great. And again, iBuyer can be a good one. Home value can be a good one. 100-point home marketing plan could be a good one. And then you can always do the customs. In fact, let me show you. So maybe, right, you're in a Facebook group and someone says, hey, this is the best ad I've ever run. And it's some crazy ad. And you're like, oh, I want to try to do that. In listings to leads, create Facebook ad, create custom ad, campaign name. And I'll say Geo Farm Sellers. So do you want a lead ad, traffic, or video view? I'll just leave it as a lead ad. You can go video view or traffic, buyer, seller. And then in the work area, put the landing page, put the URL, whatever. They go to your website, go to one of our landing pages and go to your landing page, click fetch. It'll populate everything in here. And then you can just put in your post text right there, right? Just fill out everything right here. So super easier, way easier than going into the ads manager, but similar to the ads manager, we've got everything you need. And the beauty of this right here is it's just a super simple, quick list. You're not logging in 5 screens with 5,000 options, right? We got everything you need based on what works best for real estate, right? We got special housing ad category, the category already taken care of. Either drop in your location or you can always use a custom audience. All right. So if you got custom audiences, you can use them right here. So if you're using Red X or Vulcan 7 or My Plus Leads, and you've got custom audiences created, well, or a custom audience from your database, I could use those, upload my video or image. And so as you can see, there's really nothing you can't do as far as doing Facebook ads. But yeah, again, so imagine just real quickly, if I was going to do a video for, like I want to use a video for a listing in a listing ad, I would just make sure it's like a 10 to 15 second video. And it would not be of me being in the house. It would be where I'm in front of the house. I give a quick introduction to the property, similar to the property description, but of course edited for video so that it comes across great on video. And then I would say, please click the button below to view the rest of this property. And that would be the kind of video you don't do the whole walkthrough, right? In the ad video. If you want to do now for the video itself, and if you haven't seen this, I just did a video the other day. So you want to put your property video in listings to lead. So there's my property video. And if I scroll down, you'll see my 3D tour, professional photos. Now check this out. Does that look familiar? That's the video from my media library. And so it's super easy to add these videos right in your account. And what I did is that's the email, breaking news, you're paying a mortgage, just not yours. And so I copied the text from the email and then I uploaded the video. And so now home buyer, like if someone's a renter and they land on my single property website, right? Isn't that cool? That is so awesome. And it gets better. I've got my 100-point marketing plan. I've got an area video. So if you do community videos, you can upload those into listings to leads so that every time you've got a new listing in that area, that the area video will automatically associate with that listing. And I've even got another video, which is a client review video. So somebody wants to listen to hear from my clients right there. I got a client review video in my listings to leads account. We did do an open house ad and picked up a buyer. Yeah. Yeah. And Neil, I would hopefully, if you're using all of the open house tools, you should have gotten a listing out of it, or at least a good listing lead. So let me go ahead and close this. And so, you know what? Let's jump in to GeoFarm Circle prospecting. So Neil did a open house. He got a buyer from his ad, which is great. I always say open houses, whether it's yours or borrowed, and hey, try to find a new construction listing to hold open. That might be phenomenal, right? Go find some new construction in your area, whether it's from a small builder, a regional builder, and just ask them, hey, if they don't have a listing agent already, ask them if you can do an open house for the property, because open houses are just hands down the best way to generate buyer and seller leads in my book, right? Especially when you do them consistently, so that people just get used to seeing you. Like, they're gonna be like, Neil is the guy where if I want to go see a property this weekend, that guy Neil probably has an open house going on. And they're going to keep seeing your ads over and over again because you're being consistent. And the more they see your ads and they click, even if they don't become a lead, let's say they just look at your ad, maybe they click and they click out, they're going to start seeing more of your ads, right? Because Facebook is going to go, oh, that person looked at your ad for a little bit. Maybe they clicked it and they didn't become a lead, but they're going to start seeing your ads more and more. And so that's where consistency is really key. And you see here, I've got a listing, 4704 Gold Lane. We've got an open house. If you need help getting a listing into your account, if you need help setting up an open house, let our support team know. It's super easy. But what we want to do is click market listing and go, how am I going to get a listing lead? Right? Neil, it doesn't matter. So Neil says it was a borrowed listing. First of all, congratulations to Neil for taking the initiative and not sitting on his butt crying about how he doesn't have a listing and can't do anything. No, Neil found a listing. Now, if you need help with that, you see right there it says Open House Mastery. And that's also in the marketing calendar under presentations. This will help you pick the right property to hold open, how to ask to borrow a listing. Open House Mastery right here. When you click on it, it's going to open a new tab, and this is your ticket to real estate success. It really is. This will show you how to take a open house and start getting so much business over time. And so to Neil, Neil said, I did a Facebook ad. And so click Facebook and Instagram ad. The work area is going to come up. And so he did the ad, right? So it's going to populate location automatically. It'll be a lifetime budget of $35. And remember, that's just a minimum. That is only a minimum. Your area, you may need to go to, I don't know, 50. I got people that do $300 a week per ad. I got a guy, he does 3 to 4 ads a week, 200 to 300 each. So that's $1,200 a week on Facebook ads. So again, I can bump that up to 50, whatever I want. Leave everything as is. Now I'm going to see this image, this template. If you were in the mastermind group, I did probably 3 or 4 videos last week. Oh, Neil. Yeah. Neil, I know. So you've been clients for so long. Neil just said, Claudia and I are glad we're back into listings to leads. Yeah. Neil has been a client of ours for 10 years, maybe longer, like maybe 12 years. But anyways, let me show you here. This template is phenomenal. This is probably one of the best templates in real estate. And so many people love to overcomplicate it. They love to make it messy. They love to put their picture on it. If you try to do that kind of stuff and you notice that your ads are starting to just fail, you're not getting a lot of leads, let's walk through just real quickly. Click on change template. So this blue button, change template. And first of all, every image in here is editable. There's a little edit button in the top left. So now there's an editor on every little image in here. And so if you find that you're looking at the image that's going to post for your Facebook ad and it doesn't look great. And I told one agent, I said, you need new pictures. I literally told her, I said, you know what, your ad is just, I'm like, the pictures you've got for that listing are just not going to work. They're odd looking and they're all super monochromatic and they just weren't great. It was pretty obvious that she probably took all the pictures because they were not professional. And so listen, I don't care what platform you're using. You're just not going to do good because your pictures are no good. And no one's motivated to even want to click that ad. Right. So if you don't have, and they don't have to be professional, but just pay attention. And if you look at those images and go critically as someone that doesn't know yourself, I'm Picasso. I'm amazing. No, you're not. Maybe you are, but in case you're not, take a look at what you're doing. And if I need to change out the images, just click there, go find another image that you've got that would be nicer. Right. Ooh, man, I'll tell you what, summertime coming up. I probably want to I'm going to put that picture in the top right. So I'm going to put my property image back in the main, but I'm going to put my pool. In fact, I'll put the pool behind the two more because that kitchen's great. I love the living room. I'll take my pool, put it back there so people can see it. Then you can see where it says there's 2 more pictures. So a lot of you may have 15 more pictures, 20 more pictures, and that's going to help get a lot more clicks. Now, alternatively, you can just upload a completely different image from Canva or wherever. So if you got custom images that you want to just swap out altogether, again, or as I said before, do a video. So again, you might do a video, say, hey, this is Neil, and I'm going to be over at 454. No, that's no good. That's an awful hook. This is Neil. Never start off a video with this is Neil, especially if your name's not Neil, but in particular, if you are. So you want to start off with, if you're a buyer looking for a home in Folsom, there's a beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath, modern home. There's an open house this weekend from Sunday from 1 to 4. Would love to have you come over. If you have any questions, go ahead and click the button below for all the photos, details, and more. Great video. You could do it in front of the property, even if you're borrowing the listing. So that could be a good video, but no matter what, just click create ad. And for the geofarm and circle prospecting, so Neil, you could have done this. And this is what I tell, and people have done this. The nearby homeowner letter, I'm going to click download. It's editable. I'll walk through that here in a few minutes. But when you are now, if it's your open house, of course you're going to do this. Neil, what I would have done is I would have printed this up and I would have door knocked the neighborhood the day before or the morning of. Now, the morning of is a little bit stressful. I hate stress. I don't like to rush too much. I like to really plan my time out and make sure I got more than enough time to get stuff done. So I would probably do it the day before. But dude, print this letter and just door knock and say, hey, my name is Neil Singerman. I'm with I know you're not a Century 21, but just whatever. And hey, we're holding the open house at 474 Gold Lane tomorrow from 1 to 4. It's right around the corner. Would love to have you come over. And that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Now, if you are a door knocker and you've got some scripts that you want to use that work really well for this, let me know. I'd love to share those with other people. But a lot of people I've talked to, once they get the conversation going and once they are very easy about, hey, we're having an open house. I just want to invite you to the open house, and you hand them this letter, conversations happen. Don't run away, right? Stand there, see if they want to talk to you for a little bit. But as long as you act chill, you're not nervous and you're not stumbling your words, just be a normal person, right? You're not in this environment, in this context, you're not being a salesperson. You're letting someone who lives right around that property know that there's an open house. They probably didn't know it, right? If people are busy, they're not looking on Zillow, right? They may not have seen the Facebook post that, that was in the Facebook community group or whatever. And so you're just letting them, and they may say to you, oh, I didn't know the property was for sale. Or, oh, I had no idea they were having an open house. And what a great way to start having a conversation. And Neil, so you're the EXP. Awesome. So does that make sense, Neil? And here is one of the best ways to Neil, you can still do this because check this out. After the open house is done, come in here and let's click on edit. And this was given to me. This is not my idea. I wish it was, but I cannot take credit for coming up with it. It is called the post open house summary, which is so awesome. And you can do a social media post with this. If you wanted to get aggressive, you could do an ad with it. You could do so many things. So check this out. I got the nearby homeowner letter, and I'm going to use this to door knock again after the open house. Now, I know it's already Wednesday, so we're getting a little bit far away from that open house. But if this was like still Monday or Tuesday, it would be absolutely perfect. And hey, you know what? I don't care. If this is something you want to do and you go, God, I'd love to try that, do it tomorrow. And yeah, it's not too late, whatever. Right? Hey, I know it's Thursday. Don't even say that. It's just like we did the open house last weekend and we had, so here's where, let's get to it. We're going to let them know how many people came through. So I want to let you know that we had an open house at 4704 last Friday. You don't need to worry about the time at that point, or Sunday. Obviously, Friday is not too normal. And we never could put, there we go, 24 busy tours and so many love neighborhood and want to hear. And I'm going to that's a lot of bold. So I'm just going to unbold a little bit of it, but you see where I'm going with this. And then I would door knock again. I would literally door knock again. And this time it's not, and if they don't answer, that's fine. Oh, one more thing I'm going to do in the letter, because sometimes people don't realize this. You see how that second line is super long? I would just come in here and you see how I did that? When it's long like this, I just want to even it out a little bit, make it a little bit more balanced. But anyways, so now go knock again. And it's, hey, just want to let you know, I came by last week and I dropped off some information about the open house that we had. And I just want to update you. We had 24 people that came through, which is absolutely awesome, especially for this time of the year. And I'll tell you, most of them, they absolutely love the neighborhood. But for a lot of them, the house was a little bit too small. There are a few families that are looking. And so they want something a little bit bigger. And, the backyard, you got my idea, right? What is that doing? It's allowing you to have a great conversation. And the people are going to be like, holy cow, who is this person? Who literally comes by with an update on the open house they had last week? And I tell you, the person that gave me that idea I love it. What a great idea. And you could do the same with the e-flyer, right? I could redo that e-flyer and say, hey, everybody in my database, let you know that we had the open house last weekend and right here, 4704, and just make the same edit to the email and the social media post. In fact, you can almost frame the social media post because you get a little bit more room. You can always click edit and you can tap in here. And so here you can just say open house update. The open house last week had 24 visitors, with everyone loving the neighborhood. We got, I'm going to say 4,800 views for the open house marketing, and just give it a little blurb. Had some really fun people, had some great conversations. And now again, if you're borrowing the listing, you're not going to get too much into the details of things. And if it's your listing and you thought maybe you might be getting a couple of offers, or just tease it, talk about it, create conversation around it. And you're going to get some people who come in there and go, oh, wow, I didn't realize there were so many people still looking. I didn't realize the market was that hot. Or we live in the neighborhood. And so we're so happy to hear that all the people love the neighborhood. And so create conversation around it. So there's pre-open house marketing, obviously. There is during open house marketing, and that's open house mastery. And then there's post open house marketing. So think about taking advantage of all those opportunities, because again, the biggest problem most of us have is we are not having enough conversations. And so however we can squeeze and get the most conversations out of everything we're doing, and especially good conversations, because the Facebook ads are awesome. Neil, congratulations. I mean, you do a Facebook ad and within, it sounds like 3 or 4 days, you generated the lead, you had a conversation. And Neil, if you want to type into this, I know I don't want to make it too long, how that worked. But so we do the Facebook ad, and then we do the nearby homeowner letter, because that's what creates the listing leads. All right. That's what creates those high quality seller leads. And if I come over here to success stories in the far left column, whether it is Corey Smallman talking about 13 listings from the nearby homeowner letter in one neighborhood, whether it was Bernadette around her listing where she door knocked, there's the letter. She door knocked and got a couple of listings. Elena, this is where she was the listing of the selling agent. So her buyer bought the listing. Her buyer, as soon as her buyer went into contract, Elena printed up she added the listing to her account, because you can't bring in the listing from a data feed if it's not your listing. So she added it to her account manually, took a couple of her own photos, and then knocked out that letter and got a couple of listings. It's really powerful. And so let's take a quick look at that letter. Now, we've also got postcards and door hangers. So for every single nearby homeowner letter at every status, there are the related postcards and door hangers. So some of you are going to be more postcard people. Some of you might be more door hanger people. Let's take a look at it just listed, because this just listed, coming soon, active, right? Nearby homeowner letter right there. 3 versions. I like the first one the best. And now you can print and mail right from listings to leads, but what I recommend is 2 companies. And so Mailbox Power would be one. And the reason is, and the other one real quick, Zaire Mail. So these 2 will print, mail, and address the envelope as if you did it. And that's the key here. For those letters, if you're not going to do it yourself, and if you're going to go to success stories and listings to leads and just click through, and you're going to see different people and you'll see how they did it. Corey would print from his office and just mail right from his office. Some people do it from home. Some people do it where they just print the letter and they trifold the letter. But if you're going to use a service, like a third-party service, then I recommend either. Now, for the postcards and door hangers, you can go through us and it's fine. But just for the letters, look at either Mailbox Power or Zaire Mail. And maybe Thanks.io. The key is you want to make sure that the letter, when it gets sent, again, if you're going to use a third-party service, is a regular letter envelope, that they use a handwriting style font, and that they put an actual stamp on it, right? They don't do the big business stamping, but they actually use a first class stamp. That's what you want. Because if they get that letter from you, and it looks like it came from the utility company or Walmart, they're probably just going to throw it in the trash. And so we need them to open it up. And again, that's why door knocking is so great. Now, I know door knocking is not easy to do in all areas, but if you got a geofarm and door knocking is something, it's not like a gated HOA community where it's impossible or illegal to door knock, man, I totally would. I totally would. Now, Corey, he can't door knock because his was a apartment complex. So what Corey did was he just made sure that he always either borrowed or had listings in the area. So just once you get a listing, just really double down into that area. Send out more of the letters. You can use a letter 2 to 3 times during the course of a listing. So if it's your listing, I would recommend either doing open house or just listed. And then if you're going to do an open house, do it. Yeah. If you're going to do an open house, I would do it for open house. Then I would for sure do it when it's pending. And then again, when it's just sold. And that is the classic marketing, the idea of both visibility, consistency, right? The number of times they're seeing you, the number of times you're putting value and call to action in front of them. And so if we can use that letter while the listing is for sale. So, and again, Neil, you borrowed a listing and you did the open house. So that was one instance of that letter going out. And that's why I say, especially if you're borrowing a listing, right? Maybe you do the post open house update to those neighbors. And then again, if it's your listing, once it goes pending or in contract, active contingent, click the green market listing button, right? Just to show you, we got postcards and door hangers. And you're going to do what you're going to do. I just want to make sure you got all the options, EDDM, jumbo, standard, right? A lot of different options. But here's the nearby homeowner letter. And if I just download it straight up, because now those homeowners, we talked to them, we communicated with them about the listing, whether it was just listed, for sale, or open house. Now it gets really good because now we're letting them know that we just got that property into contract. And that's when it gets exciting. If you're not using this letter when the listing goes into contract, I think you're missing the biggest, best seller leads that you're going to get, right? And I would for sure use it again when it goes sold, because now we're completing that story, right? We're closing that arc. We're telling them that we got done what we were hired to do. We just got their neighbor's property sold. And I'm going to walk you through a little bit how to even make that better. But when the listing is pending, so we downloaded it, we looked at it. Let me click on edit. Because similar to the open house, I can just add a little bit of info here. So notice it says, I just want to let you know that 333 Main Court in Rockland went pending and is expected to close soon. Wait, went pending in 34 days with 5 showings and 2 offers. I'll just use a comma. You get the idea. And again, it hasn't sold yet. This is still pending. So I'm not going to put in too much stuff right there, but I do want to give them a little bit of color. I want them to not just get the info about the fact that it's pending, going to close soon, but I want them to just get a little bit of feel for, wow, the market seems hot, right? 34 days, 5 showings, 2 offers. Or you could say when pending, maybe it was 500 days and you only got 1 offer and it was below asking. What are you going to do? In that case, I might say, went pending with what could I say here? Went pending and the buyers are so excited to join your, just wordsmith it, make sure everything reads great. And again, the top line there is a little bit long. It's overhanging the line below it. So I'm just going to do the shift return so that it makes it look a little bit nicer. And there we go. So I'm going to get this letter out to the same exact people that got the letter the first time. And this is, I'm telling you, could you imagine? Have any of you ever got 13 listings from one farm area in 1 year? Corey did. And this is exactly what he was doing. Now, again, he did it with just listed and just sold. So you could do open house and just sold. You could do coming soon and just sold, active and just sold, just listed and just sold. That's great, right? If you do those two things, you are going to be golden. Layer on the pending for even more penetration, more conversion. You never want to go broke doing this. So if you got more time than money, right? If you're not closing if you're not closing a deal a week, I would be door knocking, because you probably don't have enough budget to spend on all the things that you need to be doing. Now, if you're closing a deal a week, then hey, you know what? Download this, get your list, go to Zaire Mail, mail it out to 100 homes around that listing. But I would door knock myself. You're going to do again for just sold. Now we're going to get into what do you do when you don't have a listing. So hold up on that for just a minute. So here's sold. And again, if I click market listing, nearby homeowner letter, and of course we have postcards and door hangers. Here's the just sold letter. And similar to what I did for pending, I can add just a little blurb in there about the fact that this home sold in 34 days with multiple offers. We got 43,000 views on this property with our 100-point home marketing plan. And we did 15 showings. You get the idea. Again, you don't want to make it a 3-page thing, but yeah, this letter, again, if you're not getting 13 deals in your farm, or I'd say 12, you should really be getting one a month minimum just from that letter. And that was just one farm, right? So I don't know what the turnover rate is in there and how many listings total were available. So I don't really know if 13 listings is massive as far as like penetration into that farm. But obviously, if I can get 13 listings in any farm in 1 year, that's pretty darn good. I just don't know how good. So I don't know if that was a great return or an absolutely phenomenal return, but it was one of the two, right? And somewhere in between. Do notice that for every letter, right? So when you see the nearby homeowner letter, again, back there, nearby homeowner letter, there are always circle prospecting scripts. Now, if you're door knocking, you don't necessarily need the circle prospecting script. But if you are buying your list from My Plus Leads or RedX or Vulcan 7, and you've got the phone numbers, what I would be doing is and if I'm going to mail, I would mail the letter to the 100 homes, and then I would use the script and I would try to call as many as possible. Because what this is a did you get script? Because now, hey, this is Scott. We're having the open house down the street from you. I sent you a letter as an invitation. I just want to make sure you got that. See if you have any questions. See if I could expect you. I'd love to meet you at the open house. And if you like, we can also see about setting up a time to view the open house at your convenience if the open house times don't work for you. Boom. What is that? That's just another great Now they may hang up on you and say, I'm not interested. Why are you bothering me? And that's just the way it is. They weren't going to sell. They're not obviously interested in having a conversation about real estate. But what is your goal? Your goal is to find those people that want to have a conversation. And so what you need to be doing is creating these opportunities to where you can be the person they're having the conversation with. And how do we do that is exactly what we're talking about here, right? We got to lay the conversations just don't happen by me sitting here. Conversations happen by me setting the groundwork, setting the stage, so that when I take that next piece of action, like the phone call, now I'm going to have much more better conversation. Or if I'm at the door, I'm going to have much better conversations. I was talking to a client a couple of months ago, might have been just last month. He went door knocking, 2 buyer leads, 1 seller lead. 1 buyer lead was from a rental that he knocked on. And most neighborhoods, I think there's probably some homes that are being rented. And it was a mostly owner occupied area, but one of the people that answered the door they rented. And so he had a great conversation. They got him as a buyer lead. And you got to figure if they rent, depending on the neighborhood, obviously, if they are renting, a lot of people rent because they're new to the area. And so they'll move and they'll say, no, we're going to rent for a few months and then we're going to look around. And so maybe it was that, I'm not sure. The other buyer lead came in from a parent. So he was talking to the parents. I don't know if it was kids, nieces or nephews, but it was someone, right, like that. So that was another buyer lead. And then a seller lead, all from door knocking. It's not overly complicated. The problem is too many people like to overcomplicate it, or they try to figure out how to do something with as minimal work as possible, which I get. But the problem is you spend so much time trying to figure out how to do it with the least work possible that the whole part of thinking about it becomes the work. Does that make sense? So you spend so much time trying to figure out, how can I generate leads without doing anything? All they want to do is Facebook ads. I don't want to do anything else. And you're going to spend so much time. Right now, if you got enough money, right, that'll work. But for most people, right, and that, again, that's why we got clients spending 200 to 300 a week per ad because they're able to run through. Right, a lot of people are using our AI text follow up. They're having conversations with these leads, and it's working out beautifully. But for the geofarm circle prospecting, this right here is going to turn your business around. All it is, here's what it is. It's a factor of how many of these letters are you going to get out? Are you going to do any follow-up? And are you going to try to get them? Once will work, twice to the same homes is better, is 80%. And if you can do it 3 times, you're just going to bump up that conversion just a little bit more. But I'm telling you, even if you send it out just once, I talked to a lot of people who get leads, right? Seller leads, just by sending out 100 letters one time. Any questions, any comments, any feedback, any thoughts on anything that we've done? Keep in mind every single funnel. So if I go back to the marketing calendar, so every landing page, most landing pages, all PDF guides, the listings, the 100-point home marketing plan, for example, everything has postcards. Everything has door hangers, print flyers, or letters. For example, the 100-point home marketing plan, this would be a great one to door knock with or send out as a postcard. If I just go to the marketing tools, most of these calendar days will have a checklist, walkthrough, and the marketing tools. So this is dropping me off, right into the marketing tools and print flyer. So this would be a great thing to door knock with. In the script, I like with this one. Here, hold on a second. Now, this would be great. Now, Neil, let's say you didn't want to do the open. No, so let's say you did the open house. So you did the post open house summary because you didn't do it beforehand. So Neil, you're sitting here and I'm thinking for you, I wish I would have used that letter before the open house, but you know what? Hey, I'm going to do it after the open house. So you do it after the open house. Then maybe a couple of weeks later, you can use this postcard or this letter or this flyer and either mail it or door knock again. And this time, maybe, hi, my name is Neil, and I came by a couple of weeks ago at the open house. Man, it was such a great turnout. And I just want to, we talked about, or I dropped off an invitation last time, and we just got done with a review of our marketing plan, benchmarked against best practices and top agents across the country. And we completely revamped our marketing to be best practices, 100-point home marketing plan. And I just wanted to get that over to you, have you take a look at it. And they're going to be going, who the hell has a 100-point home marketing plan? Who in the world has a 100-point home marketing plan? And you're getting a lot of people that want to see it. And so here we got postcards and door hangers. And we got this for the iBuyer cash offer. We got this for the home values. We've got this for the expireds. Man, if there's any expireds in your area. And in fact, let's finish up on that one. Let's finish up on landing pages and expired, because a lot of you probably have expireds in your area. And if you need help, Scott, is a pre-listing. What do you mean pre-listing? Oh, I don't know. I hadn't really thought about that. Shoot, was I just going to show everybody? Expired. Yes. So if I go to create landing page, add new landing page, expired. So if you want to create an expired landing page for your area, and let's just say I want to do it for Wasago, I just completely made that up. Sounds like something from Michigan or maybe Minnesota. That's my sales area. And we'll let that cycle. So I just created all of this stuff is editable. But if I go to marketing tools, postcards and door hangers. Oh, sorry about that. Postcards and door hangers. And we got the print flyer above. All the colors will match your branding, and the image is custom. Whatever you have on the landing page will be the image. And notice that domain. Wasago expireds soldeasy.com. Right? Is that pretty cool? I didn't really think of that. Maybe I'll see. Yeah. No, we got the main one, dude. I would just send the main one. Why wouldn't you just send the main one? So Neil is asking me, will the pre-listing packet, which is like the 4-page summary of the listing presentation. So if you click here, listing presentation and listing presentation flipbook. So that'll populate right here. Oh my God, doesn't that look so good? That's funny. I saw, and I'm not going to say the company, but in fact, Gordon, are you on this call still? There's a vendor, it's like $2,000 a month. And they actually have a listing presentation flipbook as well. And I was looking at it the other day and I was like, oh my God, like if one of their people went up against one of our people, as far as using the flipbooks, man, ours is 20 times better. And this is just the general one. You can create these for specific expireds, specific listings, and then specific FSBOs. So I can even take that embed code and I can drop it on a blog post or my website. In fact, some people have. They'll take that embed code and they'll drop that right on a blog or a website. And I've actually got it on one of my blog posts. And so here's the pre-listing packet that Neil's talking about. And this is a 4-page version. But yeah, Neil, I don't know. Let me think about it. Yep. Gordon, yes to what? Oh, so here. Okay, got it. Yeah. And Gordon, I'm probably going to reach back out to you tomorrow with the other stuff, but I am going to email you because I want a few things from you in the meantime so I can look into a few things. So I'm going to email you, Gordon, here a little bit later, and then I'll reach back out and touch base with you tomorrow. Any other last minute questions from anybody? Any feedback? You guys excited? Do you see how this is going to absolutely crush it for you? Awesome. All right, everybody, go get it. Go get that business, get into the mastermind group. If you have any questions, I'll be around most of the day-to-day in and out doing stuff, and have a great one. We'll talk to you soon.